The strongest couples are not the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who can be honest without destroying each other. That's the kind of courage that actually changes a marriage. One of the words that we hear a lot today is that word vulnerability. Books are talking about it, podcasts are celebrating it, counselors actually encourage it, and even business leaders are telling people to be more vulnerable in the workplace. But here's the problem with that. We use the word really often, so often that we almost have forgotten what it means. For some people, vulnerability means saying whatever they're thinking, whatever comes to their mind. For others, it means an emotional display, maybe crying. For someone else, it simply means talking about or acknowledging their emotions. But none of these definitions are really complete. In fact, some of them aren't truly vulnerability at all. So let's begin by clearing away a few misconceptions. Vulnerability is not weakness. Weakness says, I have nothing to offer. Vulnerability says, I'm willing to let you see what's true. And those are very different things. Vulnerability is not an emotional chaos. It's not unloading every frustration onto another person simply because you're overwhelmed. It's not saying the first thing that comes to your mind and call it honesty. And vulnerability isn't living without some boundaries in your life. Wisdom still matters, timing still matters, tone definitely matters, and love in the situation, it still matters. So what is vulnerability? Here's the definition I use with a lot of couples. Vulnerability is choosing to bring your reality into the relationship with humility, courage, and care. If vulnerability is so powerful, why do we avoid it? Because hiding feels safer. Almost every couple I meet has developed some form of protection. Some become louder, some become quieter, some argue, some withdraw, some become experts at changing the subject. Others bury themselves in work, parenting, or even great ministry. Not because they're bad people, but because somewhere along the journey they learned that openness can hurt me or this relationship. Maybe you've reached for someone before and they laughed. Maybe you shared your heart and it was dismissed. Maybe you trusted someone and they used your very words against you. And so now, every time your heart wants to open up, another voice whispers, be careful, you know how that turned out last time. Fear has many disguises. Sometimes it's the fear of rejection. What if they don't understand? Sometimes it's a fear of conflict. If I bring this up, we'll just have another fight. Sometimes it's a fear of appearing needy. I should be stronger than this. Sometimes it's a fear of losing control, because the moment we tell the truth about what's happening inside us, we can no longer control how another person responds. And that feels risky. And here's what I've learned. Every marriage is built around something. Some marriages are built around efficiency, some around responsibility, some around parenting, and some maybe around even good ministry. Healthy marriages are built around the truth. And truth is what allows two people to actually know each other. Without it, they're simply loving a version of each other that isn't completely all real. It isn't all there. The wall that protects also separates. Imagine building a wall around your heart. At first it feels wise. Pain can't get in easily. Criticism might hurt less. Disappointment might feel more manageable. But walls don't have one-way doors. The same wall that keeps pain out also keeps love out. It keeps comfort out. It keeps understanding out. And worse yet, it keeps joy out. And eventually your spouse isn't just rejected by your wall. They're simply unable to reach you. And this is one of the greatest paradoxes of marriage. The strategies we develop to protect ourselves often become the very things that prevent the relationship that we really long for. Exposure is not vulnerability. There's another distinction that has become incredibly important in our culture. Exposure and vulnerability are not the same thing. Exposure says, here's all my pain, now you just deal with it. But vulnerability says, can I trust you with something that's difficult for me to say? Exposure demands. Vulnerability invites. Exposure seeks relief for the person saying it. Vulnerability seeks relationship. And that's why face-to-face is more than just the name of a ministry. It's a posture. Face-to-face means I refuse to hide behind anger. I refuse to hide behind silence. I refuse to hide behind performance. Instead, I choose to bring my real self into the presence of another person with honesty and grace. And that is exactly what we see in Scripture. From the Garden of Eden forward, humanity has been hiding. Adam and Eve didn't just hide from God, they hid from each other. It always pushes us away, hiding. And grace always invites us back into the light. Safety changes everything. Here's something every couple needs to understand. People don't become vulnerable because they're told to. They become vulnerable because they discover it's a safe, healthy place to be. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't keep trying because someone gives them a lecture about courage. They keep trying because someone keeps reaching out their hand to them. Safety isn't created by perfection. It's created by consistent, everyday responses. When your spouse tells you something difficult, do you become curious about what's happening? Or do you become critical about what they're saying? Do you ask questions? Or do you start preparing your defense? Every response is teaching your spouse something about vulnerability. It's safe to come closer, or maybe next time keep that to yourself. One response opens heart, the other quietly closes them. And that's why repair really matters. Repair isn't simply fixing an argument. Repair is rebuilding safety after trust has been broken or strained. Sometimes the most important healing word in a marriage isn't, "I was right." It's, "Help me understand what that was like for you." Or, "Wow, I can really see how my words might have affected you." Those sentences create room for connection, what vulnerability sounds like. Real vulnerability is surprisingly simple. It sounds like, "Oof, I felt really alone in that moment." Or, "Oh, I became defensive because I was afraid that I had disappointed you." Or, "Can I tell you something that's hard for me to admit? I miss us." Those aren't dramatic statements, they're honest ones. And honesty as a way of inviting honesty. Before we finish, I want to give one warning. If your spouse entrusts you with something valuable like vulnerability, treat it as sacred. Don't store it away for the next argument. Don't repeat it to your friends. Don't use it as evidence that you might need in the next 6 months. The quickest way to close a heart is to weaponize what somebody trusted you to hold. You know, Scripture tells us that love always protects. And one of the ways that we protect the people we love is by protecting places where they've been the most honest. The invitation without vulnerability. Without vulnerability, marriage becomes a performance. Two people can become incredibly good actors. They fulfill responsibilities, they smile for pictures, they attend functions, raise children, all while hiding from the very person that's sleeping next to them. But God never intended marriage to be just performance. He intended it to become one of the safest places on earth, to be fully known and deeply loved. If you want to rebuild with connection, one that's honest and humble, clear and safe, please join us for the next videos.